everybody, it's Alma. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about HCG. Now, you guys might know me from Keto Meets Menopause. You know, my lifestyle is living a ketogenic way of eating. Many of you guys might realize that that's sort of a P3 lifestyle. So again, my name is Alma. I'm 51 years old. I believe I did my first round of HCG in 2011. 2010, 2011. I actually did it through a weight loss clinic. Anyway, I started my journey back then. Great. I mean, I think my first round was my best round ever. And I think I lost I don't know, it was close to 38 pounds. Now granted, I was higher on the scale. Very often, that first round that you have is going to be your most spectacular round. I remember my first week, I didn't gain anything on my load, and trust me, I loaded. I didn't gain anything on my load, and I think I lost that first week 13 pounds. And I remember thinking, this is the definite diet for me. And you know what, while I am living a ketogenic way of eating now and have been doing that since 2014, late 2014, I love the HCG protocol. I don't think I would be here today without having the results that I got from the HCG protocol. Say you keep on saying HCG protocol, and I have no idea what that is. Well, the HCG protocol is a protocol written by Dr. Simeons back in the 50s, and many women went on it. They call it often a starvation diet, but what it is a very low calorie diet. And even though you say, well, I could never do that, keep in mind that Dr. Simeons, when he wrote this protocol, was very, very scientific towards his approach. He also created this environment so that you're not doing this very low calorie diet, for endless periods of time. His protocol suggests that you do either a 21-day round or a 40-day round, and or anything in between. He really doesn't suggest anything beyond that. Trust me, we all go rogue and we go beyond that. Keep in mind, when we talk about doing a round, your round is typically 21 days. Only doing 21 days of very low calorie days, being 500 calories, it's not a starvation diet. And the HCG, which you're injecting or ingesting, preferably prescription. I understand that they do homeopathic. It's a very minute amount of HCG that is in that, so it's very hard for me to embrace homeopathic. But if you do it and it works for you, hey, have at it. I'm not here to offend you. I'm just saying it's not my personal preference. However, there's a lot of people that don't want to do injections, so I get it. A lot of those people aren't aware that you can create your own oral drops, though, so keep that in mind. There'll be videos on that. Right now, I'm just kind of giving you an overview of who I am. I did the injections through a weight loss clinic. They followed Dr. Simeons' exact protocol. The only difference was I was terrified of doing injections that first round. So what I did was they wrote a prescription to a local pharmacy, and they created little tablets for me that were kept in the refrigerator. B12 drops coated with the HCG, and I kept it under my tongue in the morning. I only did it once a day. When I went and did it through my doctor's office, it was little tablets that melted under your tongue, and you kept it there for 15 minutes or as long as you could without swallowing. That's how I started my weight loss journey. The second round, I realized keeping a tablet under your tongue for 15 minutes without swallowing is just difficult. I was a big girl and decided to take on the adventure of doing injections. And my facility was wonderful about teaching us how to do it. I went with a very close friend of mine, and we did it together. She actually could not continue she actually had to quit doing the HCG, not because it didn't work for her. It did. However, she had really bad side effects, and it was very similar to the side effects that she had while she was pregnant. And that was nausea, it was headaches, it was leaving her fatigued and exhausted. So she stopped doing it. For me, when I was pregnant, that was probably the happiest days of my life. And so if it created that feeling or euphoria for me of being pregnant, that's probably why it worked so well for me, because I love being pregnant. Somewhat of a wives' tale that it has that effect on people, but as for me, and based on what she went through, I can somewhat validate that could be a true scenario, whether it is something that you convince yourself of or not. I did that, like I said, I lost probably 38 pounds on that round. And gosh, back then HCG through a doctor's office was dirt cheap. I think the prescription, the syringes, the doctor's visit, everything was like $128. Yeah, you'll never find a clinic today that's going to charge you that price. So it was crazy affordable back then. And now, after it became such a trendy diet, the prices have skyrocketed. I think that weight loss clinic now charges well into $300 for a 21-day round. So yeah, prices went up, popularity went up, blah, blah, blah. After I went through the doctor's office for the first couple of rounds, I then decided I already got all the knowledge and the tools that I needed. And so future rounds that I did years later were through ordering online. And that was just the easiest thing for me. Now, I will tell you that, in my opinion, I believe any diet will work and any diet will fail. And that's because of the follow through. And if you're not going to follow through with this, wait until you're ready to do it. Because it really is a protocol that has you do it through phases. It's phase 1, which is loading, 2 days of loading. And that's, it's building up the carbs and the fats in your system so that when you go to this very low calorie day, your body isn't stressed out immediately. There's also some other, true science behind it, but just kind of to give you the basics, that's what it is. And so you do the 2 loading days, and while you're doing those loading days, you inject this HCG into your system. And you inject it right around your belly button. There'll be a video on that. But after you do those 2 load days, you start your very low calorie day on your 3rd day, and you continue your injections until the end. It's anticipated anywhere from a pound to half a pound of weight loss every single day on average. Now, there's periods where you will go through a stall, etc. But it just really depends on the individual person, how well they're sticking to the protocol, etc. After you finish your phase 2, which is 21 or 40 days of very low calorie days, and it's a very strict menu that you have. I mean, it's not like you can just have 500 calories of anything. No, they give you a specific list of vegetables, of fruits, of proteins. You can have like a tablespoon of milk a day, 2 pieces of Melba toast and or grissini. So it's a very, very specific list of foods that you can eat. Once you finish that, you stop your injections, and then for 72 hours you take no injections, but you continue on a very low calorie day, and that's simply so that you can get the HCG out of your system before you start introducing other foods. So once those 72 hours are over and you begin introducing foods back into your diet, that is called phase 3. Phase 3 is very much a ketogenic way of eating. Dr. Simeons was very vague about phase 3 in regards to fruits. Because of that, I wonder if maybe he wasn't vague. Most of us just wanted to pretend like he was vague because we wanted to continue to eat our fruits. As I gained knowledge about the HCG protocol, I realized that really what you're doing is a keto way of eating. And the higher the fat content, the better you tend to maintain your weight loss. During your phase 3, while you're reintroducing foods, your goal is not to continue losing weight. It was about resetting your hypothalamus. Your goal is to stay at the same weight that you weighed in on the last day of your injection. And that's what we call our LIW, our last injection weight. What you do for that phase 3, which typically should be about 6 weeks, you want to not lose and or gain anything more than 2 pounds from your last injection weight. And now it's really strict, and most people don't do this, but if you actually gain beyond that, they say that your 6 weeks restarts. Nobody does that I know of. If you do, comment below, and you're a champ. Anyway, if you go above the 2 pounds, then what you're supposed to do is do a correction day. And correction days consist of steak and a tomato, or believe a steak and apple. You've completed your phase 3 and you've maintained your weight. At that point in time, you would move into real life eating, which is finding a balanced diet that works for you. My thing was, I just never went on into that lifestyle simply because it did not work for me. The standard American diet, the carbs, that doesn't work. And once I really acknowledged that about myself, that is when I truly became successful on my weight loss journey. I will say 2010 through like 2012 is where I just waffled. I would gain, I would lose, I would do a short little round. I really wasn't considering it my lifestyle. I was considering it losing weight. So I think that once you finally change that mental thing into, this is the way of my life, I want to be a healthy person, that's when it all switches. That happened in probably 2012 is when I got serious about my weight loss. It's when I started walking, and that has been the greatest gift that I have had in my weight loss journey is finding a love and a passion for walking. Yeah, guys, that is the best thing that happened. I started doing a round, I had success, and I would then go into phase 3 and I would maintain it by a ketogenic way of eating. I gained like 5-6 pounds in my ketogenic way of eating simply because of, selfish behavior. But I would go back on a round, re-lose that, as well as whatever I wanted to in that round. And it really became a great way of eating for me. So if you're coming here from the HCG support group, then you know most likely that in 2015, while I was continuing my P3, my son passed away. And I sort of fell off the face of HCG and just kind of stuck to my ketogenic way of eating and also my exercise and all the other admins and peers in that group, Lisa, Nikki, Danielle, Tiffany, so many names to name. I apologize if I'm missing any. Lanita, all those gals really chipped in and took care of the group while I have kind of coped with grief, trying to really maintain my composure here, guys. I sort of fell off. It was kind of hard to give to others during that time. But what I did not do is I did not allow myself to fall back into a place of depending on fast food, unhealthy foods, bad way of eating. I continued my walking. I continued my ketogenic way of eating. And through my son's passing, I was able to continue my weight loss. And now I just want to finish this journey so that all my boys will be so proud of me. I'm proud that I've never given up, in spite of what our family has endured. And I will tell you, sometimes you got to find what's going to keep you on your weight loss journey. And mine is honestly not letting my kids down. I did it too many times in the past, as far as them seeing my weight go high, go low, go high, go low. My weight really crept up there. I was, pushing a size 18. It kind of gives you an overview of who I am. It tells you a little bit about HCG. And if you are interested in learning a little bit more about HCG, that's what this channel is going to be about. This is just an intro, so you don't think that I'm someone that just read a book and decided to go ahead and talk about HCG. I've lived it. I love it. I love ketogenic way of eating. You follow your phase 2 way of eating. When you are ready to move to phase 3, hop on over to my Keto Meets Menopause channel and learn a little bit about keto. And that is honestly, for me, the best way of maintaining my weight as well as losing additional weight. That's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. And I will talk to you very soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.